Herzlich willkommen zu einer neuen Ausgabe von Crop FM. Der Titel der heutigen Sendung ist Dragons Talk und mein Telefongast ist Pat Angove. Ja, und wenn sich jemand aktiv an diesem Gespräch beteiligen möchte, kann er das auch gerne tun, und zwar mit Cropcom, erreichbar über die Website von Crop FM, cropfm.nur.at, und dann auf Cropcom klicken. Ich gebe die Fragen und Kommentare gerne an den Telefongast weiter. Ja, bei mir zu Gast heute am Telefon ist Pat Angove, und mit ihr war ich ja auch zusammen in Afrika. Pat, can you hear me?
Yes.
Oh, great. Pat Angove wird heute über ihre Bücher vor allem sprechen. Dragons Talk heißt die Sendung, und ja, es geht da vor allem um die Erde etc. Pat Angove hatte seit 1994 die Tätigkeit als Lehrerin und Heilerin aufgenommen und hatte 1998 ein sehr starkes Initiationserlebnis, und seitdem arbeitet sie für den Planeten Erde, und diese Arbeit besteht eben vor allem darin, Menschen und den Planeten selbst im sogenannten Aufstiegsprozess zu unterstützen. Was das alles bedeutet, das werden wir heute rausfinden. Hi Pat, I'll switch to English now. Welcome on the show.
Thank you.
Maybe right at the beginning, I already introduced you as a spiritual healer and a teacher, and but how really did you become the woman you are today?
Oh gosh, it started back in 1990 when I had a breakdown, and I had a breakdown because my business had failed. It was my second failed business. I didn't have very high self-esteem, and this failure in my business, I was failing in my marriage, I was not a very good mother, I felt I was failing in everything, and decided really that there was no point in continuing to live. And talk about synchronicity, but a friend of mine told me to go and see somebody who was a hypnotherapist, and I went along, and the hypnotherapist began to talk not to my unconscious but to my soul, and my soul began to answer her, but they weren't the answers I would give, and I began to believe that I was more than just the flesh and blood that you can see in a mirror. And I began to look into that, and went along to some transformational healing workshops where you transform your deep beliefs and face layer upon layer of my own self-hatred, which was quite a shock to me because I didn't realize that I had layer upon layer of self-hate. But as I did this and faced each layer, I began to love myself more. And as I loved myself more, I began to have less fear more communication with the beings that like to remind us of that we are spirit. And I accidentally then began to teach it.
On the website, on your website, I read that 1998 it was that you had a very strong experience.
That's right.
What happened?
I was in South Africa. I was working in South Africa, but it's also, I feel, my spiritual home. It's a place where I do my healing. And a friend took me up to Table Mountain because, you know, if you're in South Africa and you're in Cape Town, you have to go to Table Mountain. And I went up on Table Mountain and we sat down by overlooking a deep chasm, a deep ridge. And I just sat there, and my friend sat a little way away from me. And I suddenly just felt layers of energy come up from the earth. And as it came up, it was like an electric shock on my body. And it just kept coming and kept coming. And during it, I heard somebody behind me, but I didn't look. By the way, I was also I did not know what was happening. I just allowed it to happen. And at one time, I opened my eyes, and there was a hawk in front of me, flying over the chasm. And it just stopped flying and looked at me straight in the eyes. And I watched it, and I'm thinking, oh, this isn't really happening. This is my imagination. And it just called out and then flew away. And then another layer of energy just came from the earth. And it must have taken, I don't know how long it took, but we both got sunburnt. And I asked my friend afterwards whether he'd seen the hawk, and he hadn't. But he did say that while I was sitting there, 2 black Sangoma, which are healer women, had come and had knelt behind me, and they got up and left just as I began to open my eyes for the last time. When I got up to move, I couldn't move. My legs wouldn't move. I had to hold on to my friend. It was very embarrassing. And then on the way back there's a cable car that takes you back down. On the way back to the cable car station, I was told to go and sit on a rock. And I went and sat on this rock, and then the same thing happened again for about another, I suppose, 10 minutes. I was sitting there just having this energy come through. And it was a little while after that, I was talking to somebody who was asking me about what's happening on the planet, that suddenly the planet came through and began to talk to her. So obviously this was some kind of preparation to prepare my body to allow me to channel the earth herself. And I've never recovered, really. I've always been a bit crazy since then.
Well, yes, I know, because I've been in Africa with you.
Yes, you have first-hand experience.
Yes.
And I was actually on my best behavior then.
Oh, but I still have those photos when you were dancing with Elke.
All right. I see.
Yes,
perhaps
so
I could have a copy.
Yeah, of course. So, yeah, just for the listeners who don't know, you also joined us in Africa. Mm-hmm. And just a couple of shows, although I think the last show, I don't know, we did a show about our last Africa trip, which was amazing.
Yeah.
And I experienced some very amazing meditations that you gave, and I also put up a link to the page where I uploaded the MP3s of those meditations, of the intros. Not sure if you've seen them.
I haven't actually.
Yeah.
No.
And but it was very. I was quite astonished. I wasn't expecting this. But who can expect that?
That's right.
Yeah. So this, what I can understand from what you just told me, then this was a very ecstatic experience that kind of electrically or energetically connected you to the planet.
Yes.
Why do you think this happened so dramatically? I mean, for most, does it always happen so dramatically, or is it?
It doesn't always happen so dramatically. And in fact, if you had have been there and you'd have watched me, you'd have thought there was nothing dramatic happening, because I was just sitting there, what looked like in meditation. I wasn't sort of like wriggling around or, in ecstasy or agony. Excuse me. It was only, for me inside, it was quite dramatic. But
yeah, that's what I mean. I mean, obviously on the outside world there was nothing dramatic happening, but for you it was a very intense experience.
Yeah. But then you see, I do tend to have intense experiences because I'm not afraid of my own feelings. And B, most people that have deep healings, it is always dramatic in some way. It's like your experience in Africa. For you, that some of that would have been quite dramatic.
Yeah.
I mean, it wasn't a bad experience, but it certainly, I felt that it was like changing my very cells of my body, changing my DNA in some way. Now, I don't know whether that was true or not, but it just felt like that.
Yeah. Could it be that in this experience, what was happening, whatever it exactly was, I mean, was just compressed in time? So many people go through this experience, but maybe in years, and you just went through it in half an hour. I mean, could that be why it was so intense for you and so?
It could be, Tarek, because that I hadn't thought of that before, but it could be. But I know that people do have quite dramatic connections with Earth. I know of people who their feet would always be cold, and they'd come along to a workshop and we'd do some connecting with Earth, and their feet would start buzzing and never got cold since.
Great, I'll be on the next workshop.
Yeah, it's great, isn't it? I could do foot warming workshops.
Why do you think this happened?
I think because most of us are not really connected with the planet.
No, what I want.
Oh, why
this happened to you?
Why their feet get warm, or why did it happen to me?
Coming back to the experience you had in '98.
Yes.
Why do you think you had this experience?
I'm actually I'm a spiritual cynic.
That's new. A spiritual cynic. That's great. I like that.
Experience things for myself. Then, I find it hard to believe in the experience unless I feel it for myself. I'm an empath, which means I feel other people's stuff. So why shouldn't I feel Gaia's? Why shouldn't I feel Gaia?
I just talked to some friends today about this show, and I think for many people it is very difficult to comprehend the fact that a planet can have a consciousness, that a planet is a living being. Yeah. What's your take on this? Well,
I think science is already proving that everything that exists has some form of consciousness. I mean, we've got people that talk to plants. And if you talk to your plants, then they seem to grow better. We've had people that have recorded the music and the noise that plants make, that rocks make. Now, that doesn't necessarily mean that they have an actual intelligent consciousness, but they do have some form of consciousness. Now, if you've got a planet that is part of everything that exists in our focus, if you like. I mean, our body is made up of the same structure as the planet. Now, if we've got what we like to think of ourselves as sort of an evolving consciousness, why can't she? We're made of the same stuff. Just because we can't locate her brain, or we don't quite know where our heart is, we are made of the same stuff as the planet. So for me, it's fairly logical.
Well, I think for you the most compelling evidence must be that you talk to her.
Yes, and she talks to others through me too.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Oh, what surprised me, I mean, our main subject today is the 3 books or booklets that you wrote, where some transcripts of channelings can be found. And I only read one, which is Gaia Speaks, and I just finished it before the show. And the interesting thing for me is that the language of the planet is not very different from the language to a human. Is this because she's talking through you?
Yes.
So she's using your knowledge of the world to express what she wants to say. Uh-huh.
Yeah. When anyone channels, it is their energy as well as the energy of the being that is coming through. And the being that is coming through can only use what you've got in your brain.
Yeah, I see.
Okay, so if, for example, I have in the past channeled Melchizedek. Now, there are other people that channel Melchizedek, but the channelings have a different slant according to what's in that person's mind that Melchizedek can use.
I see.
So if I was more of a scientific nature, then probably my channelings would be much more interesting to people who are scientific, because it would contain more information for them. Mm-hmm. What comes through in the channelings I do is the heart, is the love, because that's what I'm here on the planet, is expressing that love. So it's easy for Gaia to show her love and her heart through me, because that's part of my makeup, if you like. It's part of who I am.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What is it that the planet, or Gaia, or Earth, wants to tell us through you and other people?
Basically about. Can I read some?
Yes, please do so.
There's a little bit here which I think is very relevant to us today, that she has brought through. And what she says is, I don't judge, but when you judge, you create an energy which is very low frequency. If you want to stop the destruction of the rainforests, try to love the ones destroying them. Some of you like to fight those who pollute the planet, but look at the energy you create when you fight. I'm not saying that you just sit down and let it happen, but when you fight, you create an energy that is not conducive. It creates lower frequency. When you send your letters of protest, write them in love. Write humorous letters. Write letters with little pictures. Write them in an energy which is conducive to you in your truth. You are enlightened beings. Write your letters in that energy. Do it all in love. And I think that's a great lesson that Gaia is teaching us, is that she holds no judgment about what's happening to her. And, you know, we are the ones that sit around sort of going, oh, God, this shouldn't be happening and that shouldn't be happening and isn't this awful? And when we do that, what she is saying is, it is actually all about energy. And so when you judge, you're creating an energy which is lower frequency, when what she is trying to do is to raise her frequency. Yeah?
Yeah. And it requires for us to raise our frequency with her, as I understand.
It's in a way, it's a symbiotic relationship. I don't know if anyone's ever, you know, if you've ever talked to anybody who calls themselves a light worker. Well,
yes.
Yeah, right. Well,
yes.
we are beings that we are the light. I mean, the Elohim are very good. When in one of the books, the Elohim come through about how we can create, that we are the beings of light. And even in the Bible it says, you know, don't hide your light.
Yeah.
And so we can anchor in that light, and in anchoring in that light into the earth, we assist the earth in changing, in holding a higher frequency energy. Now when we do that, you know, and she changes her frequency, and she becomes a lighter, finer being herself. This is what I call ascension. This is about changing our energy into something which is not just third dimensional. Yeah?
Yeah.
I'm giving you a very kind of sketchy, a sketchy kind of look at it all, because if I go into it in more depth, then we could be here for hours.
Yeah. Well, I mean, that's only the beginning. So
yeah.
Whatever you can't.
I'm just giving you a sketch of it. That it's a symbiotic relationship, and she needs us, but we also need her.
In this little piece that you read now, Gaia says that we should give up judging.
Yes.
Now, later on, she comes to talk about light and dark.
Mm-hmm.
And she very clearly says that we have to decide which side we're on.
Mm-hmm.
Does this mean that one side is bad and the other side is good, or what does it mean?
No, the light and the dark is all one stuff. Okay, but in the past, what we have done is we've kind of lived, if you like, in the darkness, you know, in the dark ages, and we have to make a choice about our energy. Now, we can have negative or positive thoughts. And I know this because when I was going through, my life was full of depression, so most of my thoughts would be very negative. If somebody said to me, isn't it a lovely sunny day, I would be saying, yeah, but the rain's coming. I would find a way of, in a sense, pulling the energy of that whole conversation down because of my own negativity. And what Gaia is asking us to do is to choose the more positive, is to choose the light. So that even if we don't feel very positive, we begin to choose more positive thoughts. There is no difference between light and dark, but we as humans have to make a choice about whether we're going to stay in that negativity or whether we're going to begin to think positive. When you think positive, then there's less fear. And fear is the heaviest or the darkest energy there is on the planet. And at some point we have to redress the imbalance there is on the planet. And one of the ways that Gaia, I believe, is showing us is to begin to think more positively.
I see. So light and dark is really the same stuff, but
yeah,
it's just more of the same stuff, or
well, in one of the other booklets, I was reading about the light and the dark, and I didn't mark it to read it to you now, I'm afraid. But it really is about how you choose to live, and we can live with fear, and if you like, the darkness, as we have done. Or we can begin to choose something that is different, yeah? And be more, if you like, more proactive rather than reactive. To be less of a victim, you know?
Well, I'm still not sure if I get this light and dark thing.
Oh, I wish I could find it.
Yeah, but I can see where you get to, so...
It's all God, in a sense. It's all God. So light and dark are all part of the same thing. It's just, it's a different way of communicating it. Now, don't forget, too, that when Gaia is speaking to people, she is speaking to whoever's in the room. Yeah?
Yeah.
So, if she feels that whatever those people are needing is what will come through. Yeah, so she will talk about light and dark to one lot of people, or she will talk about positive, negative to another group of people. It's what that group of people will understand.
I see.
But there is no dark, there is no evil. It's all part of our own, we are the creators, so we can create whatever we like. Can I read you another bit?
Yeah.
Thank you. This is a bit longer. Okay, is that all right?
Yes.
But this is from the Elohim, and the Elohim are the beings who, they explain themselves anyway. But they are assisting the earth at this time, and they love us so much. Their whole energy is a really incredibly high divine energy. So when they talk to us, they are seeing things from a very different perspective, although it will come through using the words in my brain, okay?
Okay, so this is from the book Earth's Friends in Higher Places?
Yes.
All right.
And this one, this says that we, the Elohim, have never had human bodies because we chose to stay close to the source in a more original form, because we knew the time would come when you might need to be reminded. We agreed to support you. You cannot believe how much we admired your decision. You have concepts of us in your churches, flying around the throne of God, and to that they mean the little cupids, the little, seraphim and cherubim that fly around.
All right.
If only you knew, you should be sitting on the throne. It is not one separate being who created all this so that you could be a little chess piece to be moved at will. You created all this. When you said, let us have trees, we helped you create trees. You want to see us when you ask to create for you a partner. You are not always very specific about what you really want. When you feel that you are small and powerless, then unconsciously you would create that which you are comfortable with. You then complain because your creation is small and powerless. When you feel that you are love, then love comes your way, more than you can think possible right now. You think somehow your body is incapable of pure love, that somehow your love will have little cracks and little bits that are missing. But that is only because you are relating to love within the game of your creation. You love on condition. When you get to a point of total unconditional love, which means loving without expecting anything back, then you will know pure love. It is up to you to change the game. You've been playing this game for a long time now, and suddenly the rules have changed, so you must change the way you play. So in a sense, what the Elohim are saying is that we are the creators. So if we are the creators, then we can create light or dark, evil or good, whichever. It's the same tools, it's the same bit of clay we use. You know, a potter can create a vase, or it can create the figure of a dog. It can create a bowl. Whatever that potter creates, it's all out of the same stuff, even though they're different things with different uses. Mm-hmm. Have I totally confused you now?
Not totally, so just go on a little bit. So, are the Elohim the main contact that you write about in this book?
It's the Elohim and Melchizedek.
All right.
Yeah.
And of course, there is a person named Drunvalo Melchizedek.
Yes.
And
well, Drunvalo is one of the people that Melchizedek comes through.
I see.
And as I was saying earlier, his information, although would be the same, will be put in a very different way. I think there's also an Amrita Melchizedek too. Mm-hmm. So I'm probably a Pat Melchizedek.
All right. Drunvalo says that he is a walk-in. Walk-in. So that means that he has been totally taken over, or no, not taken over, sorry. He has been merging with an Elohim.
With the Melchizedek.
Oh, sorry, with Melchizedek.
Yeah.
Sorry.
Yeah.
Sure.
That's right. I'm not a walk-in.
You're not a walk-in. So
no,
you merge whenever you want to.
Sorry?
You merge whenever you want to. That sounds a bit strange,
we merge
but
energies for the time that is needed to do the channeling.
Yeah.
Yeah.
In the third book, the third book is called Earth's Other Friends.
Yes.
Which other friends?
Now, these are what I call her off-planet friends. These are the beings who are from other places in our universes, who are here to support us in this whole journey, this whole ascension program. And the two that I have been open to allow our energy to merge for channeling are the Pleiadians and Ashtar. So that planet Earth's other friends are channelings from the Pleiadians and Ashtar.
That reminds me of something. Of course, you remember when we met Creator Mutwa in Africa this October, right? And Creator talks about the Pleiadians, and he says that these are our enemies, or these are enemies of men. Is this, what does this mean?
That's not my recollection of what he said, actually, Tarek.
Not? Oh.
No, I think he was talking about, I don't know, you've got the recording.
Because I just heard it recently. I think what he says is, well, maybe, yeah.
I didn't think he meant the Pleiadians. I think what he meant was, there are beings
The serpent star, he says, and I thought these are the Pleiades.
Well, they're certainly not in my experience.
So the serpent stars are the Pleiadians. Is that just another name for the Pleiadians, or
could be?
Or have I confused you?
I don't know, but I know that these beings have they've been around for quite a time.
Yeah.
I've never come across them in a negative way at all before. Mm-hmm. When the 9/11 situation happened, a few days afterwards, I was lying in bed, and suddenly the earth just called for help. Really called for help, and I opened my eyes, and looking in through the window of my bedroom were the Pleiades, the actual stars, and they were very, very big. It was like main focus, and then I felt the Pleiadians actually in America with the Twin Towers, assisting the spirits of those that were trapped into, the light where they were supposed to go. Mm-hmm. And in doing that, it's like with this planet, if we're in pain, she feels our pain.
Yeah.
And she was calling for help on behalf of those people who are trapped. And sometimes when something happens that so suddenly our spirits get trapped in a way. And she called for help on behalf of them, and it was the Pleiadians that went to help them.
I see.
So I'm just not too sure what credo is meaning.
Yeah, I don't know neither. That's why I thought maybe if you remember, then...
I don't remember. I'd need to hear the transmission again, and then I could maybe get more about what he's meaning.
Yeah, I will send it to you, and then... I will send it to you, and then you can...
Please, thank you.
Unfortunately, I think...
You're getting very faint on the phone.
Oh. I'll try to do something here. Any case, can you hear me?
Yes, yeah.
Enough? Okay. So, the book Earth's Other Friends, they are the Pleiadians, and
yes.
Who else is it that you...
Ashtar.
Ashtar. Oh, I heard about this, the Ashtar Command.
That's the one, yes.
All right, now, who are those?
I hoped you wouldn't ask.
No way.
I mean, I don't know much about these beings. I only allow them to come through me. Whenever I channel, or whenever I do anything, whenever I do any workshop, even before I have this radio interview, I ask that whatever is said, whatever is done is for the highest purpose. So I'm quite open to channeling as long as it's for the highest purpose, but I never seem to ask too many questions about who's coming through. Ashtar, as far as I know, is the Ashtar and the Ashtar Command are the ones who are coordinating the off-planet support of this planet. If anyone wants to come on, if any being from another planet, another universe, wants to come and observe what we are doing here on this planet, or to come and assist, they do have to come through the Ashtar Command.
This is a strange name, Command. Is this kind of a galactic federation, or do they have patrol ships out there? I mean, why is it called Ashtar Command?
I have no idea.
Oh,
Derek,
what a pity.
Actually, I mean, this is a name that has been bandied around, and I picked it up. And in fact, in the book, it's never referred to as a command.
Oh, right. Okay.
It's Ashtar, who, for me, is the coordinator of all off-planet support and observers too, because what we are doing has never been done before, and what we are doing is changing matter into spirit.
So does this mean that there is an intergalactic travel agency out there who is selling tickets to Earth.
Yes. Now, oh God, I read that too when I was going through the books. You know, I read that too. That actually, yeah.
Really?
I'm very quickly trying to find it again, but it really is about, yes, we are the lucky ones who pulled the right number and was able to come.
Okay.
Now, we've come, some of us, from other planets too, from other universes. And we've come to experience and to assist in changing matter to spirit.
Yeah.
I mean, we are already spirit, but it's actually about focusing in spirit rather than focusing through matter.
Yeah, what I read in your book was a very interesting statement, that it is easy to turn spirit into matter, or it is known, it has happened, but it never happened before that matter turned into spirit.
Yes.
And apparently this is what is happening right here now.
Yes.
And this has never happened before, ever.
No, ever.
Anywhere.
Not on any world, on any planet, in any universe.
In any creation.
No, that's right.
Boy oh boy.
I know, we're quite special, aren't we?
Are we in for a ride?
Yes, we are. And that's the other thing, is that despite all the predictions, no one knows how it's going to turn out.
That's very assuring to me, because most of the predictions are very dire predictions.
Yes, yes, I know.
So actually, no one really knows, so just let's see what's going to happen.
That's right.
Yeah,
and
I like that better.
And because we are the creators, we can create it. You know, I mean, what scenario are we choosing?
Yeah.
You know, if we are tired of war, then let's stop the war we have in our own private lives. Let's stop the war we have with ourselves.
Yeah. Before I would like to come back to this subject of this whole transformation process. But before that, now, since our show is called Dragon's Talk,
yes.
Why did you get in contact with dragons as well? And what does that mean? I mean, was it a dragon, like a dragon, or was it, you know?
A dragon is the personification of what we're trying to do. A dragon is very rooted in the earth. Some people have said that dragons are the earth's first children. But they also have wings, so they can lift themselves above and beyond what is naturally capable of. They can lift their heavy bodies up into higher realms, if you like. So dragon is a personification of what we are doing in a way. But dragons have also been around on the planet since the planet's creation.
And are we talking about physical dragons here, or is this more a metaphor for a being? I mean, are these dragons physical?
I believe dragons are physical, they just don't have the same dimensional body that we have.
So we can't see them?
Not yet.
Oh.
But we will. But we can feel them. You see, although we cannot see interdimensionally yet, we can't see the other dimensions, although some people do see auras, and they're a different dimension than third dimension. We can't yet see the beings that exist in other dimensions, although they're here with us. But we can always feel them. We've got bodies that feel, and that's the exquisiteness of this, is that we are spirit in bodies that can actually feel in the only way a physical body can feel. You know?
Yeah.
So we can feel these dragons. We can get a sense of them. In 1999, the dragons started to be released. Now, these dragons that were released, and when I say released, they were actually held within the earth. And these dragons began to be released. We couldn't see them, although you could feel them. And as they flew, they changed the atmosphere, if you like. They changed the atmosphere, and they helped to release triggers that helped us. And it's since 1999 that we've really begun to accept more the spiritual, the invisible, the more esoteric teachings and stuff that's around now. We're more open to it since 1999.
Yeah.
And I believe that was something to do with the dragons,
I see. Something that popped up in my mind, coming back to the Ashtar command. You were saying that anyone who wants to come and visit has to ring their bell first.
They're supposed to. Now, I'm not saying there aren't other beings from other planets that are here uninvited.
Yeah, because Credo, for example, talks about, I think, reptoids.
Yes, that's right.
Reptoid beings, which were visiting...
we call them the lizzies.
The lizards, oh yeah, David Icke.
Yes.
He has a big thing to say about this. And the lizzies, they obviously sneak through.
Well, the thing is, if your intention is sort of good, then you're going to go through the proper channels, aren't you?
Yeah.
But if your intention is not so good, I mean, what Ashtar, and if you like the command, or whoever they are, try to do is they try to protect the earth and protect us so that we do what we are here to do, which is evolve, which is to become spirit in physical, not become spirit, but to express spirit in physical form on a planet that is physical and spirit. And they want to protect that and let us get on with it. And so if there are beings that are coming whose interest is to keep us, if you like, in the dark, to keep us in our fear, then Ashtar does try to stop that. But you see, we are on a planet of free will. So in a sense, it's always down to us. No one can make us do anything.
Yeah.
So if we've got beings around that want to keep us in our fear, it's up to us whether we stay in our fear or not. We don't have to be the victim of these beings.
Yeah.
You see, and that's the thing I feel sometimes about Credo, is that he's had such a hard life, and he's very much into he's giving a lot of energy to his fears.
Yeah, could be. I don't. Hard to tell for me because I don't really know him very well. I just met him once. So.
He's doing beautifully. He's a lovely, lovely man.
Yeah, he is.
Love him to bits.
Yeah.
I'd just like to bring more joy into his life.
Yes, I think he could need that, I think.
Yes.
But who couldn't? Now, the ride before us. We're coming to the end of our show. I told you, it's always...
Oh, gosh, really?
Well, I mean, we have around a quarter of an hour. So I'd like to start to wrap up a little bit.
Okay.
In those 3 books, several entities all around the world, well, all around the universe, talk about the coming times. Actually the times we're in. We're right in the middle of it.
Yes.
And then, of course, many people, and I guess also you are talking about 2012. Is this a year of big significance for you, or is it just, well, another milestone on the road?
It appears to be of great significance, and I've only heard about it through other people's information and writing.
Yeah. And
it is a milestone. I feel it's the end of something and the beginning of something. Yeah?
And apparently of something big, because...
Yeah. I'm fighting with myself here, Tarek, because I feel something wants to come through and speak.
Well, it wouldn't be the first time, so I have...
Okay. But I don't know who it is, okay? But we might find out as the being speaks. Is that okay?
Yes. I mean, why not? If someone has the urge to say something, then you should have the chance to do so. But just remember, about 10 minutes we have to...
Okay.
All right.
We come because you called. You want to know about 2012. 2012 means nothing. Do not focus on the future. Focus on the now, for it is in the now that you can create 2012. Do you understand us?
Yes, I think I do, yeah.
2012 is nothing. For by then, you would have either done what you came to do, or you will have left.
Left to where?
There are many other planets in the universes that you have not yet traveled to. Do not think that your existence on this planet is the only one you have. What wondrous beings you are, that you do so much. You came here on a big adventure to change matter, even though you are not sure what matter is. Now you have experienced matter. Now what are you going to do with it? Huh? I am the being they call Ashtar. I work with this beautiful planet. I work with you, beautiful beings. And I come because you need to know. Do not worry about the future. Worry is a form of fear. Okay? I will be quick. I just say this. Feel who you are, what you are today, this moment in time. For the next moment could be something different. For the next moment, you are always evolving, and each moment that you live is a different moment. Do you understand this?
Yes, I think I do.
We love you. I say this for all of us. You do not know how much support you have. Please do not think you are alone. There are many of us who wish you well and who do not want to destroy.
May I ask a question?
Of course you may.
Where do you come from?
We come from different dimensions, different universes. I come from a universe that is placed in the 12th dimension. I will not tell you the name of the planet because it is not one planet. It is, how can we, when you are in, we apologize for this because we come through a mind that is not scientific. But when you get to 12th dimension, of which you are part of anyway, there is more oneness. Things are seen as separate but of the one, yeah? There is not one planet, there is more. It is a concept. We are trying to put a picture into her mind, and because the only way that she would be able to describe it would be a painting of a color, and in this color there are circles, and each circle is of the same color, but it is also a circle. Do you understand this?
I'm not sure, but maybe she can then explain it to me.
Yes, she will be able to understand the picture. We are going very fast now because of your concept of time, and we cannot tell you all that we would like to tell you in this one time. You will have to interview her again, you know, but
I surely will.
know that we love you. This is important, and know that you are not alone, and know that we can help you, and we can help you with this physical matter too. You only have to ask.
How do we ask?
You just say, Ashtar, can you help me with this?
All right.
We go now.
Okay, thank you.
Okay, Tarek.
It seems to become a usual thing that that channels come through on my show.
Yeah. Well, that's because you. That's because you are very open.
Oh, yeah.
So it allows people to be very relaxed and just let it happen.
Oh, that's good.
Yeah.
Ashtar was here, by the way.
Yes, I know. It's like I can hear him. When you channel, well, for me, you don't get taken over.
Not because Bernard, which I'm sure you know, I had once on this show, live channeling, and he's gone. He's gone.
Yeah. Some people do that. I don't, and a lot of channels I know don't, because, you know, we are the ones who have the final say in a way, you know?
I see.
And when we disappear, then we totally and absolutely give our power to whoever's coming through, and, you know.
Yeah.
But the picture they gave was like, you know these pictures where you can draw wax, you put a wax drawing on, and then you cover it with paint, and just the wax comes through. You cover it with paint.
Yeah.
What they showed me was like there's this blue, there's this beautiful blue, and it's like just a circle is in the blue, but the circle is also filled in with the blue too. Do you understand what I'm saying?
Yeah. I think I do understand what you're saying, yeah. But
it's a really difficult concept, and of course they're trying to give me these concepts, and I feel very frustrated with myself that I don't read enough to improve my own scientific or my own mental capacity to understand more the concepts that they sometimes give me.
I see. So the planet, that was the picture of the planet they gave you, of the planet where they came from. Of the
way that they see things in 12th dimension. It's like it's all the same stuff, and it's delineated just very...
I see. Okay. So you just see an outline of a circle,
yes.
but it's really it's really, I mean, inside the planet and outside of the planet is not so much difference.
That's right. That's right.
So
yeah, my English is bad. My English is bad. I think I would have done better in German, actually.
Why you tell me that now?
I don't know. My German's worse than my English.
Your English is great. I mean, obviously. No, okay. So that was. I wasn't really prepared for this. I wasn't really prepared for Ashta command coming through, but it was nice to talk to them.
Yeah, and they really wanted to talk to you more too, actually.
Yes, that's what they say.
But that my mind was like, oh God, the time, you know?
Oh yeah, that's why.
So in the end, I asked him if he could leave now because you're wrapping the program up.
Oh God, after Ashta command came for a visit, but we asked them to leave. That's.
Yeah, because we are in control. They're here to support us, not to. And to help us, but not to do it for us, or to make it so that we are, that we have no will of our own.
Yeah.
You know.
But it was very interesting this conversation with those entities because it kept referring to we.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I got the feeling that there is. Maybe it's the command, if you like, all come through as Ashtar when they speak.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Boy, oh boy. Okay. We
another day in paradise.
Yeah. Well, so we are really at the end now of our show, more or less. Well, obviously, we have to do it again.
I would like to.
I mean, because yes, I would like to, and I think I would next time. Maybe I prepare myself a bit more to ask those Ashtar guys.
Well, maybe it won't be them that come through. Maybe it'll be something else.
Okay. Then
the funny thing was, out of all of them, it was the off-planet ones that I'm not so aware of.
Yeah.
Even though I've channeled them in the past. I wasn't so aware of them, so I was expecting that if anybody came through, it would be like Gaia or the Elohim. So.
But interestingly enough, it was. Well, we talked about them, so yeah.
Yeah.
And I wanted to know where they come from.
Yeah.
And well, now we still don't really know where they come from.
No. But it is another dimension. So as we begin to bring in these other dimensions into our reality, we'll be able to see more and more.
Yeah.
Dragons are fourth dimension, so we don't have to go far in order to see them.
Yeah. Oh, I see. Well, I'm surely looking forward to seeing dragons. Because I like dragons.
Yes. And I certainly like you too.
That's good. Take my dragon for a walk.
Oh, they walk with you all the time.
Yes.
Yeah, sometimes they kind of bound around you, you know. You have to be careful not to trip up over them.
Well, all right.
No, it's true. I was walking one day with a friend and I kept seeing this little blue dragon running around in circles around us like an excited dog, you know. And suddenly my friend said, my God, there's a blue dragon around us. So, you know, they are around.
All right. Elke writes, it can only be Ashtar with Tarek. She just wrote in the chat.
Oh, I see.
I have to ask her about that.
I can see the connection now. Yes, Tarek.
What?
Oh, right. Oh, well, you never know who might come up next then. We might get some being from Sirius or something.
Oh, boy. Well...
Or Arcturus or something.
Uh-huh. You have to tell me more about this connection, but unfortunately we're really at the end of our show today. So, yeah, thank you very much.
And thank you.
For taking the time.
Thank you.
And obviously we have to do another show maybe this summer. That would be lovely. If you're up for it. Yeah, that would be great. Good. Well, hopefully I should be in beautiful Graz before long. Yes, that would be nice. That would be. Okay. All right, Terry. All right, thank you. And bye-bye. Bye-bye. Ja, das war Pat Angove und das Ashtar-Command. Ja, natürlich, ich bin schon noch immer ein bisschen überrascht, wenn sowas passiert. Und man muss die Jungs einmal ein bisschen taffere Fragen stellen, glaube ich. Also, das ist mal also eher allgemein. Aber es ist schwierig. Wer rechnet schon damit, dass er mit dem Ashtar-Command spricht? Jedenfalls, die nächste Sendung, sie war jetzt gerade im Chat, das nächste Mal ist sie im Studio, Elke Maria Watzlawiczek, und es wird um ihre Arbeit gehen, um die Footsteps, und was das genau ist, das wird sie uns selbst erzählen, nämlich am 20.01.2006, unglaublich. Das neue Jahr ist hier und wie. Ja, danke fürs Zuhören und macht es gut.